The next thing I'm going to do anyways is I'm going to show you how to have a secondary weapon. I'm going to put my bag back onto my back, and I'm going to drop this this M3 Moz, because I showed you how to pick it up, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to drop it. I'm going to put my pack back on my back, in hands it is. I'm going to pack these magazines, because I want to pick up a second weapon. So in order to pick up the second weapon, I'm going to click on the car L up in the top and click on back. Now that puts my car L on my back and opens up my main slot for another weapon. Now I want something, this one's got an ACOG, but I want something quiet, and I want something with some decent range. So I'm going to scroll down to the sniper area, and I'm going to pick up a 416 Leupold Silenced. I'm going to pick up that weapon. Now what it gives me is a 20 round Stanag mag, which I don't want. So I'm just going to drop those. Don't worry about that error. Sometimes it does that. I've never had it. I've never noticed it change my game at all. Alright, so I'm going to pick up some 30 round mags. And I'm going to pick up some hand grenades. Alright. Now, thing to note. Now, I don't know if everyone caught that, but it's a little bug that I don't think they're going to work it out, because if they did, then it would affect things. It would make some other things harder. Since this was not in my hands, since my my Scar L with the grenade launcher was not in my hands anymore, when I picked up this weapon, it reset my gear to only give it supported magazines for this weapon, for this 416. So it dropped all the grenades that were in my bag. In order to pick them back up, you just gotta pick them up from the box. Now I'm gonna pack them back in so they don't get dropped again. Now unpack some magazines. Now if you didn't see how I just did that, I just clicked on the item and double clicked on it, and it automatically unpacks it. Now, as you can see, by the way, the weapons in Ace Mod are beautiful. They are stunning, in my opinion. Whoever made these mods did a great job. So, now I have two weapons. And that's cool. Now, I'm not going to be using this long-range rifle right away, so I'm going to put that back on my back. I'm going to pack these magazines back up. And I'm going to unpack my grenades, 2 grenades, and a Hunt IR round. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use Hunt IR. Make sure you have a Hunt IR monitor and Hunt IR rounds in order to be able to use this. Select your EGLM, reload Hunt IR rounds in your action menu, and note, Hunt IR rounds are 40 millimeters. Thus, they can be loaded into any 40 millimeter grenade launcher. That includes the 6-barrel grenade launcher and the M79. I'll crouch down with that loaded and fire it straight into the air. Now, at the apex of its arch, it's going to release a parachute and let the shell slowly float down to the ground. I'm going to activate my Hunt IR monitor. When you do this, you want to be at cover because you lose complete control over your character. So it's important to find yourself good cover or to be generally away from the enemy. Now it always takes a second. Sometimes it does that. All you got to do is hit escape and activate your Hunt IR monitor again, and it should find the round that's in the air. And there it is. Tiny camera. Now, what you can do with this camera is what makes it so amazing. It's got a night vision and an IR mode, which is infrared, and those are controlled by N and M. But you don't want to use them during the day because they will mess up the camera and you'll have to reset it. You use your arrow keys to turn it and move it up and down. You use your A and D keys to zoom in, zoom out. And if you have multiple cameras in the air, you will use your W and S keys to switch between cameras. I apologize for the glitching of the screen. That's just because of my computer. That's not because of the game, by the way. Alright? It's a pretty simple system, but it has saved my life on more than one occasion, and it is a great asset to any battlefield, or to anybody that's meticulous and enjoys planning out their missions to the letter. As you can see, it's pretty easy. I'm 280 meters from the ground, and I can see myself pretty easily. Even all the way out, I can see a general... I don't know if you guys can because of the bad quality of the video, but there's a little blips right there, which is me. To get out of this again, you hit escape. There is also a help menu in the Hunt IR, by the way. That's a little parachute. The shell falling through the air. In the Hunt IR menu, there is a little help at the top right in case you ever forget the controls. Pretty straightforward, right? Next, I'm going to show you a couple key firing tips that they've changed in Ace Mod. The first and more important of the two is sights. You can now select between long range and short range sights. As you can see, this ACOG has, it's the ACOG, and then it has a doctor sitting on the top. Little short dot. I'm sorry, holographic sight. Now, I know that I used to get ticked off when I would have an M4 ACOG, and it had the pair of iron sights on the top. But at 10 feet, you had to rely on these little pips right there in the front of your screen. And if you were on a hardcore server, you didn't have those. It made close range fighting very hard when you had a ACOG scope. But now it's much easier. In order to switch between the two, you hit Shift F, and it'll switch between the two sights. Alright? The second thing is deploying your weapon. Anything that's chest height, rocks, fences, cars, fallen logs, anything. It's actually a challenge to find things that you can't deploy your weapon on. To deploy your weapon, you hit Shift Space. You'll see your weapon become much steadier, and you'll see that your shots become much more stable. I'm going to demonstrate that now. In order to undeploy your weapon, by the way, you just step away, or you turn your gun away far enough. Now, I'm going to unleash a magazine, and you're just going to... Most of you already know how inaccurate a weapon is from standing up at fully automatic. How many of those rounds just hit? So now, I'm going to deploy my weapon on the hood of this truck, and do that again. Now, you can do this with any weapon. Sniper rifles, machine guns, pistols, everything.